Okay, this video is for a very specific person, a woman who is, and a man too, I suppose, but I see this a whole lot more with women than I do men. But a woman who was capable of making money in the corporate space or making money in a job or being supported by a man or a family member. Like you've had money come to you in those different forms. But now, or throughout your life, you have been trying to start a side hustle or be an entrepreneur or create a business or do something to make money that is like direct to you. And you're having a really hard time either making money, period, feeling comfortable with sales and accepting money, scaling, like you hit that ceiling, or keeping that revenue consistent, right? It's up, you're down, you're up, you're down, or you're just hitting here and you can't get over, or it's like you can't get started because you feel icky about sales. You feel icky about talking about yourself. You feel icky about accepting more money. All of the things. I see this time and time and time and time and time again with women. So if you're new here, you have no idea who I am. My name is Sarah. I am a multi-million dollar a year business owner. I teach all things money and magic, miracles. I teach a lot of the energetic aspect, the emotional coding aspect to money and the things in our life. Meaning, you may be trying to do all the things in the physical world to create more money for yourself in a side hustle or in a business or in a way that isn't like a job or coming to you from a family member, and you're doing all the right things, you're following the plan, but it's not coming. And that's because there's two sides to the coin. There's the actual physical external things we need to do, and then there's the actual internal belief systems that are the foundation of if those things are actually going to work. And some of these belief systems are conscious in our head, but most of them are not. Most of them live in our DNA, in our nervous system. We don't even know about them, which can be very frustrating because you may be sitting here saying, I am ready for the $25,000 month. Let's go. I'm ready. I feel it. I know it. I'm ready to do all the things. And you do them. Or maybe you don't do them. We'll talk about that too. I'm ready to do them. I'm doing the things, or I'm pushing myself to do the things, but like they're not working. Or you also just feel so icky about it. I see this so much with women when they start a business or they're trying to do a side hustle and they feel so weird about accepting money, about talking about what they can do. And I feel you on this, you guys. I feel you on this. And we're going to talk a lot about the underlying reasonings for this and how to clear them out so things start to feel different for you. And not only do things start to feel different for you so that you actually can show up and do these things and feel good and feel energetically aligned when you do them, but you also start to see results in your external world working, meaning money finally starts to flow. Things finally start to show up. And so I wish every woman could know this information. I'm about to tell you. It's going to be so good. It took me years to really uncover all the bouncing balls to this. Um, and now I can just wrap it up in this tiny little, I don't know, under an hour video, maybe even less than that, hand it to you, and hopefully your success can be accelerated. And not that my success was slow. I managed to take my business from nothing to multiple million dollars a year in less than 3 years. And a lot of it I did not do through traditional strategy. I did it through really working to reprogram my emotional coding, my understanding of what I was capable of, and cleaning out a lot of the ancestral programming and the cultural programming that have been put on us as humans, especially women, that keep us from being successful, keep us from big money, keep us from feeling comfortable selling and putting ourselves out there, keep us from receiving easily so that life gets better. So, we're gonna break it down. So, the first thing we have to understand, and this is such a big key for you guys to understand, and I'm gonna show you in this video as we go through it, how to clear this out, the the technique I use and teach to help clear this out. I'm also going to talk a little bit about our course Money Makeover towards the end too, if you want to go deeper with this and really do a full overhaul of your money programming, all of it, so that it just gets so good. So good. Okay, so we have to do a quick little history lesson before we go further. We need to remember something that's very important and was actually erased from history. Once upon a time, women made money. If you go back to some of the history that truly was erased and hidden and was not something the patriarchy wants us to learn about, women owned land. Women held high positions. Women held 50 or more percent of the wealth in very early civilizations. We were seen as complete equals to men. When they perpetuate these stories around the idea that, and it's the same thing if you're a man here and not a woman, it's the same thing where men were not looked at necessarily and women in a hierarchical way. It was kind of like, okay, here's the people, do what you want, like make the money, do this. It wasn't like it is now, where it's very hierarchical, it's very control oriented, it's very race oriented, it's very gender oriented. There's a certain demographic of people that have much more advantage than others. It's different. It wasn't always that way. And we are very brainwashed to believe that it was. And we're brainwashed to believe that because here's the thing. When we feel icky about selling, when we have this underlying feeling about, oh, maybe I shouldn't, when we self-sabotage, we think it's our fault. We think it's our fault. It's not our fault, friends. It's not your fault. Wasn't my fault. Again, this was systematically orchestrated to control and take power from a large portion of humanity. So once upon a time, women, we were good. We got it. Here's the interesting thing, though, when you look at history. A lot of what women did in those times to make money were very much in selling of themselves. We were the commodity. We were the commodity. Our essence, our smarts, our body. We were the commodity. And I don't just mean as sex workers, although I will tell you, sex priestess were very highly regarded in those times. Very highly regarded. Selling your body was a very respectable way to make money. Healing people through sex was a very respectable way to make money, as was women just being present in things. There was an understanding that certain people, men and women alike, had an essence sometimes that just changed the room. Just them being there changed things. And this was fine. Nobody had a problem with it. People sold themselves all the time. They sold themselves all the time. And again, I don't mean just in a bodily way, but in a healing way, in a way that they had a knowledge and an understanding that not everybody understood. And people paid for that. People paid for that. Now, when the patriarchy took over and people were controlled, especially women, the first thing they did was they made selling yourself disgusting, wrong, vile, against God. Not only did they make sex priestess and sex work, absolutely, but they also made things like selling your essence, your gift. Maybe you were a seer. Maybe you were an herbalist. Maybe you were, you just had a gift. Again, men and women alike, but much more women often have this, but I see it with men too who have gifts to give to the world that are themselves. They are selling themselves, their essence. This was made to be believed, and we were programmed deeply by powers that be that this was wrong, and it was icky, and it was gross, and it was disgusting, and it was like the worst thing a human could do. So, why do you think maybe you feel fine making money from a job or receiving money from a man or a family member, that works for you. But when it comes to selling yourself, your knowledge, your essence, your seerness, that's not even a word, but you know what I mean, your mysticism, whatever it might be. Or let's say you're savvy in business and you just have great knowledge to share in that way. That's still selling you. You are the product. You are the product. And we have been programmed for thousands of years, that being the product is icky, is wrong, is against God, is dirty. All of these things. But guess what? There is a huge rise and a huge need in the world needing our wisdom, our essence, our understandings. But so many of you feel icky and weird about it. You don't want to get on social media, or you do, but like the right energy's not behind it. And then we see people who do sell themselves, that they are the product. We often see them being ripped down. One of the greatest examples right now in our current world of this is Taylor Swift. This is a woman who is the product. She is the product. She is out there selling her essence more than any other artist we see. It is her soul, her experience, her literal essence that she is putting out to the world. And people love it. They buy it not because they have to. They buy it not because they've been manipulated. They buy it because of her. Her. If Taylor Swift disappears, it all disappears. Nobody wants to buy it just because it's the music. There's music all over the place, but there is not the devotion and the following that this woman has, because she's the product. And here's the secret, you guys, she owns it. And most of us have a really hard time owning when we are the product. Why? Because we feel like prostitutes. We feel like dirty, terrible, yucky prostitutes that the world has convinced us are bad. Because you know what? They weren't bad. They just told us they were bad. And we believed them and kept believing them. And so we feel like these dirty whores the world has told us aren't okay, when it was all okay and it was all fine. We just listened to men, a bunch of men who thought they knew better. And we need to stop. And we need to stop. Back then, they killed us for speaking out. Back then, they killed people who stood up and continued to be the product. Now they don't. And it's time we get paid to be the product again. It's time we get the money that we're meant for our essence, for our gifts that we have for the world, and stop feeling weird about it. Own it. And I'll tell you, a lot of the world is judging people like Taylor Swift right now, judging people like me who go out and make money off of our gifts that are the product, because it's hitting up against that old programming. It's hitting up against that. And when it hits up against that, we judge. We judge. When really we need to be exploring. Why does that feel? Why am I having something come up around this? And when we do, we need to get to the core emotions around this and start clearing it out so that we can finally get out into the world, do our work, and get paid well for it. And I'll tell you guys, this has snagged me up. I built my company very quickly. Less than 3 years, we went to millions, multi-millions of dollars every year. Built it very quickly. And I was the product. I was the product. And I was owning it. And I was all about it. And then all of a sudden, something happened. That old coding got activated. That old stuff, because that's what happens. It gets you guys. It gets you. It gets you. You just got to walk out into the collective consciousness for like 4 minutes and you're like, uh-oh, it got me. Because we were very programmed in this. So I was kind of in this bubble, just doing my work, loving it. And then I kind of went back into the real world. And all of a sudden the real world was like, oh, you do that? Oh. And all of a sudden that old coding got activated that, okay, it's not okay to do this. It's not okay to be the product. Oh, I need to create a brand and I need to put other people in front of me and I need to be like more behind the scenes and da 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 da. So I did. I spent hundreds of $1,000s creating an amazing brand and I tried to get out of the limelight and I tried to do all of these things. And guess what happened? It didn't work. And then I realized it didn't work. And I was like, okay, I'm going to get back out there. I'm going to start doing it. But guess what? I felt weird about it. I felt weird about selling. And so guess what I started doing? I was giving way too much. I wasn't charging what I knew I wanted to charge to feel valued for the work I was putting out there. So then I had resentment and I hated the business and I didn't want to do it and it felt all icky until I started addressing this core wounding. This wounding around being told that being the product is gross, being the product is dirty, that I'm gross, that receiving money for my essence, my knowledge, my essence into the world is wrong. And so I kept seeing money come in from all different places, you guys. It would come in through my husband, it would come in through family, it would come in through other investments I had. It was coming in everywhere. So I was like, it's not a money issue I got going on here. Like the money's coming, but why won't it come through my soul's work? Why won't it come through my essence? Because there was a disconnect. There was a deep belief in here that said it's not okay, even though my mind was like, yes, I'm ready. Nope. So what did I do? Well, I teach a very specific technique called the rapid relief technique. It is a form of tapping. It's a form of tapping. If you've ever been familiar with EFT, I actually started off as an EFT practitioner. Didn't love how it did it. Really tripped and fell into my own method to do this. Not going to go into that whole story. You can go watch all my other stuff. I got lots of other stuff that talks about that because I want you guys to get some immediate results and relief on this. So the rapid relief technique is different than normal tapping. If you've ever done tapping before, most things out there are about putting a band-aid on something or just calming this. We're not trying to calm here. We're trying to remove. We're trying to remove. You can't put new beliefs and new understandings in until you remove it out. You can't feel different about something. You can't feel different about sales. You can't feel different about money coming to you. You can't feel different about social media or whatever it is that's blocking you up. You can't feel different about it until you address and feel what's already in there. And that's what most of us don't do. We don't feel it. We're just like, I'm going to overlay it on top. And then we wonder why it doesn't work. Or we just try to push through, which just leads to exhaustion and no fun. Which I'm going to be honest with you, if you're doing your business and you're not having any fun, why are you doing it? If you're doing anything, you're not having any fun, why are you doing it? We need to bring fun back into life. We need to bring fun back into business. We need to bring fun back into parenting. We need to bring fun back into relationships. We need to bring fun back into everything we do. Because, like, what else are we doing here? Like, this is supposed to be a fun time. But guess what? They also programmed us to believe it's not supposed to be fun. And it's supposed to be hard, and we're supposed to struggle. And then they put that dominant frequency on the earth, and now we're all like, oh, I guess this just is life and it sucks. Stop believing the bullshit. Please. But again, it's really hard to stop believing it when your core programming is all plugged into it. And this is where the rapid relief technique comes into. This is where we use the tapping to actually vibrate into our body and get out the crap that is literally locking us in these belief systems and we can't get out of it, right? Like, you wake up and you're all like, today's the day. I'm going to put myself out there. I'm going to do the thing I got to do to finally make the money or take the business to the next level. And then like the day goes by and you're like, I didn't do it. Because guess what? The programming will always win. Will always win. That deep-seated programming will always win. It will always beat out your brain. It'll always beat out your intention. It will until we change it. And guess what? You get to change it. And that's what the rapid relief technique is all about. So I'm going to go. We have the rapid relief technique and then we also have the rapid money method. And the rapid money method uses this technique and it targets really close to money. So the rapid relief technique is about using what's happening in your life to remove the deep-seated belief system so we can rewrite it. And so it's not like just me giving you a script for tapping, although I can speed up the process really fast by doing that. Hence what our course Money Makeover is all about. It's basically me leading you through all the stuff after working with hundreds of thousands of people on money and coming back to themselves and creating the life they want and the businesses they want, all that. It's literally a structured course taking you through all the stuff I know that you have in there so that it's a lot faster for you. And that's really the rapid money method. It's just, I'm going to show you how to go through all of this stuff in regards to money. And there's a lot of other stuff in there because money isn't always about money. So that you get rapid transformation and rapid results quickly. But how we're going to use the rapid relief technique is we're going to tap and we're going to tap on the stuff that comes up. It's not hard in the sense that you're just going to use it. So it's like, let's say you're, scared of sales. Let's say it feels icky to you. You're going to tap and you're going to say, and just follow my motion and say it with me. I'm so scared. I'm so scared to put myself out there. I'm so scared to do sales. It's gross. It's gross to ask people for money. It's so gross. It feels so gross in my body to go and ask people to pay me to do something for them. I mean, it's fine if I have a job. Like if I just have a job and they're paying me and they're paying for like another product, that's fine. But to pay for me, that feels so gross. That feels so wrong. That feels so icky. I'm never going to be able to make the money I want. It's never going to come to me easily. I have to work hard. I have to work so hard. I have to prove myself. So it's basically what you're doing is you're using the internal dialogue, your monkey mind, to start getting the ball rolling about what's deeper. The other thing that it really works great for is when you get triggered. When you get triggered, you guys, around your business, when you start to feel something, remember, you can't change how you feel until you acknowledge how you're actually feeling. We can't feel different about money and feel different about sales and get different results until we acknowledge what's in there. And so when things happen in your business, when things happen and you start to feel frustrated, you start to feel sad, you start to feel all these things, our default is to ignore it and just try to think positively and move on. All we are doing is pushing that in and reinforcing the old pattern. And the only way to go forward if we're doing that is to just push harder. And that sucks because then business gets harder and the more you want to scale gets harder and it just gets harder. And it's not supposed to be that way. My business is fun. My business is easy. It's actually gotten easier, more fun, and lighter as we've gotten bigger and been around longer. We've actually have less people working for us at bigger stages than we did at earlier stages because we just keep learning and making it better. This is how business is supposed to be, you guys. This is how money is supposed to be. This is how life is supposed to be. But most people don't get it. And most people stay trapped to these programs, these cultural, deep seated things that have been put in us that we don't even realize we're buying into and believing. So, where do you start with this? You start with when you get triggered or something happens, you use the tapping and say what's just coming to you. Start removing that. And then once you do, put the new stuff back in. Sales are great. I love selling myself. Get a little sexy with it. I love selling myself. Make a little joke about it. Start to remind your body that there's nothing gross about going out there and bringing your life work to the world and getting paid well for it. It's safe to be my full self. It's safe to receive money for being me. But again, that's not going to hit until we get to the core wounding and get it out. Now, again, if you would like help with this, because I know I went through this kind of fast. This was just a quick little free giveaway for you guys to really start exploring this because I think it's so important to bring awareness to this, to start seeing this so that we can start changing this. Because I believe the solution to making this world a better place is getting more money into the hands of wonderful people, of absolutely wonderful people. But I watch so many wonderful people really struggle to feel safe and good about receiving lots of money. And I really believe that this is one of the foundational pieces that really helps you start opening up to more money. My good hearted people, getting more money into your bank accounts. One, so you can do all the fun things you want to do first. And then I know you're going to go out there and do awesome things in the world. I know you are because that's what good, amazing, wonderful people do. Okay. So if you want help with this, I highly suggest jumping in and doing Money Makeover. You're going to get an awesome code in your email for the best deal. Go check it out. It's life changing. It's bank account changing. It has all of the pieces and the understandings that people aren't talking about that we need when it comes to money, especially us women, especially us deep hearted, especially us good hearted, heart centered, deep people. We operate different. We need different things to expand into wealth. And I got them for you in the Money Makeover. Go check it out. You can see all the different components it hits, all the different pieces. It will change the trajectory of your life and your bank account. 100%. All right. I hope this was helpful, and I hope to see you around in our world. Until next time, goodbye.